we have kind of a level playing field today where whether it's Google or some startup that's been around for a year, they both can pay an unlimited amount of money for the employee, right? And so and they're both being constrained by the employees. So large companies, Google, Amazon, Apple, they've got pipeline to start in your, your first year of computer science. In the summer, you're going to go and intern at Google. So they've built these huge funnels to acquire people and the whole thing, et cetera. Obviously, stuff small companies can't do, but also things that take a long time to do. But my point is that the moat itself, or that if you're starting a company today or thinking about how you scale your company, if in the past it started from the product or the technology, I was around in the 90s where the technology was a challenge. We had to build our own servers and host them ourselves and configure our own routers, something nobody thinks about today in the world of the cloud, right? But that was the world in the 90s, right? Access to technology or hardware was a challenge. Same thing with talent. If in the past talent was not seen as a constraint, but kind of an operational requirement, I think today talent is the constraint, and the company needs to be built bottom up from looking at talent. And from the very basic thing, if you assume that your talent is constrained, the first question you need to ask yourself is, where am I putting my best talent? Like, which things am I developing myself with my best talent? When we started Waze, we had some of our greatest engineers building websites. A huge waste of talent when you think about it that we would never do today, right? Today you'd use a third party to build your website, and a designer would build it. You wouldn't need an engineer. But we use really strong engineers to build our website. Google still did that in the past. In a way, does that in some places because you can. But if you can't, right? If you only have small number of amazing engineers, what is the core of the core of the core of your system where you need to put this talent? And then you need to ask yourself everything else. How do I develop that, which is crucial? You need a website for a company, right? It needs to be developed. It doesn't need to be developed internally. So it could be developed on a third-party platform, it could be by a third-party team, it could be by a contractor, it could be by a million other things, but that's not core to your business. But as soon as you start thinking that way, well, how do we know, where does the code base sit of that website? Who has the password to it? Where can you access it? What if that person resigns or disappears or gets pissed off? How do you manage that? What security implications are there? What technology stack are we going to allow them to use, or do they just select their own and we maybe can't support? All these questions come back, which today are kind of ignored because you're assuming everyone works in your company. When your company is completely distributed and these teams are separate, all these questions become crucial to how you're building things.